happen again.
I call the honourable member Chris Ockenvall.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lest we forget. One thing the people of the West Coast can be very sure of in this whole uncertain matter, one thing they can be sure of is that I will never forget learning of the explosion at Pike River, the overnight travel from Wellington, the waiting initially enthusiastically in the hope of rescue, only for that to be replaced by increasing dismay, Mr. Speaker, as the full dimensions of the tragedy became clear. I will never forget that period of my life. I will never forget attending the daily hearings of the Royal Commission as it sat in Greymouth. I'll never forget my impressions of the thoroughness, the compassion and the expertise of the commissioners under the leadership of Justice Pankhurst. The representations of the barristers acting for all the different parties and groups. I will never forget those. I won't forget the meetings with the families and their solicitors, and indeed the aspirations of them all, Mr. Speaker, for an outcome that will help to ameliorate, if not end, their grief. The Commission report meeting yesterday provided, Mr. Speaker, some conclusion for all involved in waiting and waiting. The adoption of the recommendations, I think people, as they said to me after the meeting, will go a long way to be a fitting memorial for those who lost their lives through a lack of safety in the workplace. I've consistently, throughout my involvement with the families, avoided, Mr. Speaker, saying that I know how they feel, because I don't think one can possibly imagine how people feel after what they have endured with that first tragedy. But what it did do was inspire me to go and find my own father's grave, which I had never seen, and it was their inspiration that obliged me to do that. And so I'd like to say again, Mr. Speaker, I will never forget, and I'll continue to walk with each and every one of those people just as long as they require a companion.
I call the honourable member Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me